through the process, we learned two incredible things that we did not know. The first being, in real estate, we don't really know how much something is actually worth. We go by what someone has paid for something similar in the same area in the near past. The other being portfolio loans. If you own a small business, getting a loan for a home can be a little more tricky. Normally, we don't have any W-2s, so the banks want to see our bank statements. They want to see our tax returns. Here lies the problem. As a small business, we get tax benefits. Those tax benefits lower our taxable income. In order to get approved by the banks, they want to see our taxable income, which normally is a lot lower than our gross income because of the many tax benefits. In other words, we may make $250,000 a year, but because of the write-offs and other benefits, our taxable income can be, say, $160,000 a year. And that's what the banks will use. Not the $250,000, but the $160,000. You still have to have the credit score, still have to have the down payment, and everything else. That makes sense. The banks have loan requirements they must stand by. That's how we thought it worked. In reality, the banks don't have loan requirements. Not that strict anyway. You see, these are investor requirements. When the banks give us a mortgage, they usually sell it to an investor. They sell it as a security. A security is a tradable financial asset. The asset being your or our mortgage. When we get notice that the bank no longer has our loan, and we now have to pay our mortgage to another bank or entity, our mortgage has been sold. These are known as mortgage-backed securities. When you understand that, the 2008 financial crisis will make more sense. The banks were lenient on who qualified for a mortgage, not requiring a certain credit score, or in some cases, even a down payment, but still selling these mortgage-backed securities to investors. When people couldn't pay, they just left their homes. The mortgages were still held by investors, and some of these houses were way overpriced, which in part led to the crisis. There was legislation that came into effect because of this, making rules as to what was required to get a mortgage that would be sold to investors. Now, the rules were said to protect us, but really, they were put in place to protect the investors. Every mortgage an investor buys can be sure they had a specific credit score, a specific down payment, and proof of income. That's how it works now. The banks have portfolio loans. And this is the second thing we learned when going through the process. Portfolio loans are held by the bank. In other words, they will never be sold to an investor. It stays in the bank's portfolio. Therefore, they don't have the same rules when not selling mortgages to investors. They can choose the loan terms. They can choose the credit score. They can choose the down payment, etc. They can choose not to use a credit score. They can choose not to have a down payment. Whatever they want. After all, it's their money. So, if you're having trouble securing a loan, if you have a small business, look into portfolio loans from a bank or credit union. They don't have the same requirements. Something else that we learned.